La Maison Latour a été fondée en 1797 pendant la Révolution.
Maison Latour was founded over 200 years ago in 1797 during the French Revolution. I am the 11th generation of Latour and the 7th Louis Latour to head this company. With this family history, we have become one of the trustees of the Burgundian tradition, and I believe it is very important to emphasize that. There is a Maison Latour style seen in our fine, elegant and well-crafted wines. We work especially for vigor in our white wines and expressive fruit notes in our reds. I believe it is of utmost importance to have this house style. We're a part of a very long story in which each generation has sought to set its stone in the building, and we have followed the classic course of a vineyard owner who over time becomes more and more a négociant. We have done this over the generations by acquiring vineyards in Alox, in Chambertin, as well as Romanée, of course, and in Chevalier-Montrachet. Our central idea has always been to have a worldwide presence, and currently we export to over 100 countries. This has always been the case. My grandfather, as well as my father, would tell me that their own grandfathers also spoke of how Maison Latour did business in many countries.
Maison Latour's estate is made up of 50 hectares of vineyards extending from Chambertin, Grand Cru of the Côte de Nuit in the north, to Chevalier-Montrachet, Grand Cru of the Côte de Beaune in the south.
These are nice bunches, tight, a bit figged, which shows that they are ready for harvest. Not bad at all. They're good. The degree is there. Since the end of the 1980s, Burgundy has had exceptional weather, and we have been very lucky to have had several great vintages, and even some outstanding ones. I believe that the 90s have been, for Maison Latour and Burgundy in large, the best decade of the century in terms of vintage quality. This goes for red and white grapes in the Côte de Nuit as well as in the Côte de Beaune. Maison Latour red wines are unique in being particularly elegant and refined in style. We strive to extract the most fruit possible. We are very much for intense yet relatively short vatting periods with constant pigeage. So therefore, we make wines that are not extremely dark in color. I believe it is very important that we respect the nature of Pinot Noir, which is an elegant and noble grape. This has to be done without forgetting the balance with the appropriate alcohol content that will guarantee superb longevity. In regard to our white wines, we deal more with overall intensity and a constant obsession with balance. In order to prevent the wine from being too heavy, it is of the utmost importance to maintain a certain amount of acidity without allowing for natural degree to surpass 14. Power, elegance and overall balance are the key words that have always dictated Maison Latour's policy for vinification in both red and white wines.
Maison Latour has its own in-house cooperage, where over 2,500 barrels are produced yearly. The stave woods are grown in the world-renowned oak forests of Troncé, Châtillonnais, Allier, Vosges. We keep around a third of the barrels we make for our own usage. They will serve for the vinification and aging of our wines. Corton-Chalmagne must begin its alcoholic fermentation in temperature-controlled stainless steel vats. It will be transferred into oak barrels to allow for the completion of alcoholic fermentation, followed by malolactic fermentation. Corton-Chalmagne, as other white Grand Cru of the Maison, will spend 8 to 10 months of aging in oak barrels manufactured by Maison Latour. Once the alcoholic fermentation of the red Grand Cru is complete, the wine goes directly into oak barrels to age for 10 to 12 months. During the aging in barrel, a natural evaporation takes place. The barrel will periodically be topped off with the same wine so that the barrel remains full. This procedure is called houillage, or topping up. Throughout the aging process, whether in oak barrel or in stainless steel vat, the wine is constantly monitored and analysed in our in-house laboratory. Various types of analyses are conducted in order to assess the wine's development. This is done to assure it achieves the finest possible quality and to estimate the best time for racking. During the aging 8 to 10 months for the whites and 10 to 12 for the reds, the wine will be racked twice. The first racking consists of transferring the wine from its original barrel to an empty one. This is done to remove the lees that nourished the wine during its initial aging. The second racking will take place, followed by filtration and bottling. The Ardèche region is located midway between the cities of Lyon and Avignon. Here, Maison Latour works in cooperation with local wine growers and has 400 hectares of Chardonnay grapes under cultivation. The vineyards cover hillsides ranging from 300 to 500 meters above sea level.
Mon père s'est lancé dans le vignoble ardéchois à la fin des années 70.
My father started working with the Ardèche at the end of the 1970s. We were looking for a Chardonnay of good quality and at stable prices. From the beginning, we met with great success with the Ardèche. Our success continued with the Grande Ardèche when, in the 1990s, we started selecting the best batches of grapes to be aged in oak barrels. After extensive research, we recently released into the market the Duet, a blend of two varietals, Chardonnay and Viognier. Viognier has a long and established history in the Ardèche. It was very interesting to extract the strength and the finesse of the Chardonnay and combine this with the aromatic qualities of the Viognier grape.
After having established Chardonnay in the Ardèche, Maison Latour chose the Var region, overlooking the Riviera in southeastern France, to plant Pinot Noir. Here the Pinot grapes thrive at about 500 meters above sea level in the foothills of the Alpes de Haute-Provence. In spite of their proximity to the Mediterranean Sea, these high-altitude Var hillsides with a distinct microclimate and well-defined seasons provide the sunny days and cool nights perfect for the production of the Pinot Noir grape. Founded in 1840 by a cooper from Montbard, Maison Simonet Fèvre is a traditional Chablis maison.
A few years ago, we acquired Simone Fèvre, a long-established company founded in Chablis in the mid-19th century. We have long admired the quality of Chablis wines, especially in the last 15 years. We find the wines are much better balanced than before, and quantity has also increased. Acidity is well present but not overwhelming. All of these qualities correspond exactly to the overall style of Maison Latour's white wines, and we are very optimistic about the future. Our plan is to make more and more red wines from this region. There are remarkable wines in the Yonne area, particularly Hérency and Épineuil. The diversity of the Chablis region is what attracted us to this area. We must also remember that the local climate is becoming more and more favorable, particularly in the last 2 decades, for optimal ripening conditions of the harvest. Our interest is, therefore, ever growing.
When the wine has developed sufficiently to allow for final filtration, bottles will be washed and gravity filled. The bottling line has a maximum capacity of 10,000 bottles per hour. After the cork has been set, the bottles will circulate for 7 minutes on a conveyor to allow for cork expansion. At the end of this line, a robot will proceed to palletize the bottles horizontally. The pallets will be transported by forklift to the cellar in the lower level. Aging in the cellar can last from several months to several years. It takes place under the best possible hygrometry conditions. The cellar has a capacity of 4 million bottles. Maison Latour has its own in-house printing facility, which creates all graphics and oversees all printing of labels, brochures, price lists, etc., that are essential to sales and marketing. The bottles are rinsed on the outside before they go on the labelling line. They will first be capped with foil and then labelled according to the different export markets. The special order packaging line deals with magnums and half bottles which require special handling. Our bottles of Grand Cru, which are shipped in wooden cases, are also packed here. Magnum labelling is done manually. For example, here a Merceau Château de Blagny Premier Cru is being labelled. Computer program robots take care of labelling and placing the bottles in cartons on the export line. This line has a capacity of 6,000 bottles per hour. The cartons are sealed and a robot moves the cartons to the pallet. The pallet will be shrink-wrapped to maximize protection of the wine. These will be stocked for up to 10 days before being shipped. All of our wines are subject to strict control and tracking procedures. Everything is monitored during each stage, from the arrival of the grapes to the shipping of the cases.